Hey guys, how's it going? It's Muthurajah here. I forgot to hit record earlier on my mic, hence the little cut. Apologies for kind of disappearing the last 4 weeks, almost a month actually. Been dealing with a whole bunch of things. Life is pretty cruel, but it is what it is. I needed to recuperate and take a break. So I'm back with a lesson. Alright, we're going to take a look at triad pairs. This is something every musician who's studying jazz at some point will encounter. Before I get to the actual lesson, do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Enable your notifications so you can get any and every notification. And you don't miss a single video that I put out, hopefully. Okay? And while we're on that, I still have the 50% discount campaign on my Zoom lesson packages. So if you're wondering what the lessons entail and what you can learn, what you could eventually look for in the long run, my email's right there, my website's right there for information on pricing and a breakdown of it and whatever else you need information on. Don't hesitate to reach me. If you have financial issues and you still want to learn, but you're willing to commit, reach out to me. We can reach some level of common ground, provided no one's being taken advantage of. All right, so feel free to reach out. All right, triad pairs. Okay, one of the most common triad pairs you find in jazz is the 4 major and 5 major in a key. From the key of G, my 4 major would be C, and my 5 major would be D. All right, we've got signal, just being sure. Okay, so first things first, get it down. 1 3 5 1 3 5 3 5 1 3 5 1 5 1 3 5 1 3. Okay, once you do that, get the permutations down in a single position. So 1 3 5 1 5 3 3 5 1 3 1 5 5 1 3 5 3 1. Okay, then you do the same thing in the inversions. Okay. Okay, and then you practice permutations from one triad into the other. And displace the notes as well. Don't constantly keep it in one octave and then wonder why you don't get anything else out of it. You should. Okay, permutations, and then spread it across the neck. Try and identify these notes. Now, at quick glance, you might not notice this, but with the addition of one more triad within these two, D major, C major, I also have A minor. Okay, so if I have A minor, I could technically use B minor, and guess what? That's a triad pair as well. A minor, B minor. Now, because they're related, I can kind of combine them. Essentially, what's happening is that I am taking notes from the C major scale, right? My 4 and 5, C major, D major. That is basically a G major scale without the B. Okay? When I do A minor, B minor, I get the B. So I have taken essentially the G major scale and I've broken it up into 4 triads. The 2, 3, and then the 4 and 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then use that in inversions. Wait, I'm on G. So that's C major into B minor, A minor, okay. Now, once I have that down, my goal eventually is to not make them sound like triads and triads and triads. So let's say I have C major, D major. Okay. Immediately, one of the things I like to incorporate is fourths. No. Yeah. Okay, I tried to create distance between the notes beyond the root, third and fifth, or their relevant inversions. Okay, so you do that, get comfortable with it. Okay, so this is a C major 7, 9, and 13. I'm going to use the very rudimentary triads over it, C major and D major. Okay, now with some permutation, simple permutation. That sounds beautiful. Okay. Now, same thing with just A minor and B minor. Okay, that essentially gives me G major scale without the G. When I incorporate the G, that gives me access to the C major triad. Okay, so even though I might not play triads for what they are, this is kind of how I developed my dexterity and vocabulary to create ideas in a jazz setting or R&B. It could be anything. When you build up triads, you start to get really a huge sound, right? So let's say I want to use a B half diminished and C major triad, okay? So triad pairs typically work adjacent to each other. If I have a B half diminished, C major into D minor, that's also another one. So let's just try that. diminished and C major also gives me G major. Okay. I keep hitting that A because it's so habitual for me to hit certain notes. I've developed a habit out of it, but essentially the triad pairs really forces you to pick your notes wisely. It limits the entire scale into two components, which gives rise to the third component. We saw that. With two triads, a C major, D major, we also have an A minor. It's just there. You don't have to go looking for it. Right? So, very quickly, I just want to give some insight into the minor triad pairs, okay? So, C minor 7. I'm going to play C minor and D minor. Okay, so I have C minor, D minor, but I also have F major. Now that's a line you might have heard somewhere. That's basically C minor, F major, and then into D minor. I hit a B flat. Ah, man. I keep hitting the B flat. Habit, because after a certain point, obviously, I don't try to become the greatest triad pair player. That's not the goal. The goal is to get information out of it, just really milk the hell out of it and then move on. So in me trying to teach you specifically to use this concept, I am kind of exposing my weakness in not being able to execute this exercise perfectly. But I want you guys to see that, because even for somebody with my experience and how much I've been practicing, I continue to practice, I still fumble. So it can happen to anybody. All right, I hope you get something out of this, and as always, I'll see you guys in the shed until the next one. Peace.